Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hello, everyone, and welcome to This is Football. Welcome to another stream, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another stream where we are here to talk the realness. We're here to address Liverpool Football Club, the future that's looking, in the words of all my London brothers, peak right now. Not the American peak, because American peak means like, good. London peak is like, oh, it's peak blood, and it means like, it's bad basically. But anyway, um, everyone watching us right now or on the replay, because I know a whole lot of you guys like to watch us on the replay. Make sure you slap that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're ready to do so. Everyone right now, stop what you're doing. Slap that like button. Subscribe to This is Football. And we're going to let you meet our lovely panelists. Before that, big up to all my people in this comment section. EKK, Toby. I would cuss you out, but Ramadan is coming. Big up to Tariq. Big up to Gary. Big up to Abby. Big up to hashtag FSGOUT. Big up to K, my G. Big up Uncle Mike. Big up to Estonian. Big up to Captain Sal. Jay, Tarun, Ilya, Gareth, Khurram, James, Imran, Sophia. You will not like my comeback nickname. Let me just tell you that. Big up LFC for the double gone, brother. Big up to Notorious Fat. Bro, what is these names, man? I swear to God. Big up to Mohammed Ammar. Big up Estonian. Big up John Kelly. Gaza is in the building. Anisa's in the building. Anfield. Stephen O'Connor. No Limit. Fredo. Ice. Cat. X. Big up to you. Big up to Jewash. Big up to Lee Govender. And listen, 100 people in here. We didn't even start talking yet. You're just saying, Alhamdulillah, today I feel good, looking delicious and scrumptious up on everyone's screen right now. So big up to you guys. Slap that like button. All the gym work is showing. You get me? MashaAllah. MashaAllah. Make sure you slap the like button. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel if you're ready to do so. And we're going to introduce to you the lovely panelists that are coming on. Ben Doak is going to be late because he's a bottle job. So he's going to be a little bit late. But now we've got Bobby Clark and Curtis Jones getting ready to come on in the background. So let me introduce first the owner of the FSGOUT plane. There are rumors that he himself was the pilot. And to be honest, those rumors could be true. He has to beat the allegations today. We have to get to the bottom of this shit. Was he the pilot of the FSGOUT plane, or was he just the guy who organized it? It's just, we have to ask the important questions. Also known as the leader and CEO of the Klopp Defense League. He wakes up every day. He looks at his Klopp picture in his room and he's like, let's be great. Joining us on the channel is none other than the man, the myth, the legend, who doesn't get these intros on any other channel. Let me reiterate. Man like Curtis. How are you doing?
Hey. What's going on, my man? What's going on? Yeah, I wake up every morning. I do a couple of stretches. I look at my wall, and the first thing I say is, I'm so glad that Jürgen is a red.
Oh, it's so cheesy, man. No, it's
Hey,
so cheesy.
every morning, I'm doing my stretches as I'm singing it when I'm looking at the photo. I'm doing my stretches. But yeah, man, good to be back. Good to be back. I've got a lot to get off my chest. Hey, don't do that. I don't like it. I don't like it. Give me Kendall. Give me Kendall. Different conversation. But yeah, I've got a lot. I've got a lot on my chest I want to get off. So I'm looking forward to this. And I've got Rax on here. So Mr. Balanced is going to try and keep me calm. But yeah, let's see. Hey, let's see.
Segued me perfectly to introduce Rax. With me, I don't stab in the back. I have to. I admit I am an asshole sometimes. I admit it, no problem. But I don't stab in the back. I look at you straight in your face and I tell you whatever I do. Now I told Rax before coming on, Rax, your ass is gonna get off the fence today. You're gonna get pressured, so your ass is gonna get off the fence. We're no longer doing the fence sitting. We're no longer doing the this is good, but that's bad. We're doing now either bad or good. There's no more gray area in life. We are living in a black and white world. So joining us on the channel is the man who definitely has the best taste in caps on This Is Football. Man like Rax is joining us. How are you doing, bro?
I'm good, bro. I'm good. Yeah, thank you for that always unique introduction. Yeah, I know you had some choice words to say about Kurdish's hat backstage, but yeah, I'm glad that my headwear is a level above, at least on this channel. So yeah, thanks for having me, man. Should be fun.
100%, Rax. Big up to you. So guys, 161 people up in here. Slap up the likes, subscribe to the channel. And let me tell the people something. I don't know if you guys noticed. When I first made this thumbnail, on the left-hand side of the thumbnail, it was actually Klopp. And on the right-hand side, it was John Henry. Then I realized, what's caused this fan base to go into a bit of a meltdown? It's not a Klopp FSG conversation. It's actually Jude Bellingham, bro. And, I want to hear Kurdish and Rax's opinions on this, because I have an absolutely wild opinion on this, that it's probably not even related to football. It's more based on principle for me. But, we'll discuss it in a second. But let me let Kurdish go first, because, we need a hot Kurdish for today's show. So, Kurdish, speak to the people, my brother. What are you saying?
So I want to speak to Rax. That's what I want to speak to. I'm joking. I'm joking. Yeah, look, I think the first thing to say is we need to be very aware that this Ornstein piece is a opinion piece. There is nothing factual. He's not said anything different to what we know before. But we also need to be very quick to realize there's no smoke without fire. And the fire that David Ornstein is setting off is usually, it's either blowing something up or he's put oil on it and he's about to light the whole place up. So he's quite accurate, Ornstein, even if it's just an opinion piece. Something would have been said to him where he feels the need to put his reputation on the line and write that piece. So that's the first part. I think it's important to say it's an opinion piece, but actually there will be something behind it. It's not nonsense. It's not that he hasn't got a clue. He's a very reliable journalist with a big reputation. So for him to put it on the line, like I say, he would have heard something in the grapevine. So that's the first part. And then the second part is when we've been looking after a player for 2 years, John Henry has been telling Linda the yacht is going to have to wait another 3 years because I'm taking the pennies out. And for 2 years, he's been putting a penny into the piggy bank, just saving it up to get the good-looking man from Birmingham, only for you to come out and tell me 2 years later that I might be getting Mason Mount as my alternative. Money Mace, the man that gets the football, looks around and goes, I'm just a better version of Curtis Jones. That's what he does on the football pitch. And he turns around, he'll get the ball, he'll look around, and instead of thinking, what can I do with the ball? He goes in his head and goes, but at least I'm better than Curtis Jones, and that's why I play for Chelsea and get in the starting lineup. And actually, my biggest issue with this isn't about Jude Bellingham. People think this is about Jude Bellingham. Jude Bellingham, wow, good football player. This is about principles, and this is about you backing your manager when your manager has made it clear to the world this is the one player that he wants. And what I don't want is I don't want to live in this world where there is an alternative of Jude or 3 midfielders, because you've neglected for so long that you've put yourself in a position where you now need 3 midfielders, but actually Jude should be that midfielder because that's who your manager wants. And when you've got the most successful manager in the world, you need to be backing him. And I was on a space with you yesterday, so I'm sorry, Rex, I will let you go, but somebody said to me, oh, you're being spoiled, blah, blah. And I said, respectfully, don't say that to me, because I'm not Arsenal. I'm not Arsenal Football Club, and I'm not the likes of Tottenham and these kind of clubs, right? I come from a country, Hussam, where I'm sure you can relate. There are parts of my country that still live in mud houses and they don't have electricity, right? I know guys that will leave their village 48 hours before a Champions League final, get on a donkey, ride their donkey into the city. They will take 2 days, 48 hours to get into the city. They will camp at night time where ISIS are in the mountains, put their lives on risk to get to the city 48 hours later to watch Liverpool in the Champions League final. That's the standards at my club. When I go to a mud house, in Kurdistan, and I'm saying, do you watch football? They say, yes, we watch the Champions League. They don't know who Arsenal Football Club are. They don't know who Tottenham are. They don't know these things. They know who Liverpool Football Club are because Liverpool Football Club are playing with Real Madrid. My guy travelled 40 hours on a donkey, risked his life, camping, surrounded by ISIS to watch Liverpool Football Club, and you're saying to me it has to be Mason Mount? That's what you're saying to me, Mason Mount.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. أعوذ
I've
بالله.
got cousins putting their lives on risks to watch Mason Mount play.
I can't lie. That's a crazy way to look at it. Still, yeah, like that's a crazy way to look at it. I can't lie. No one should risk his life for Mason Mount. Still, like I know Jude maybe a little bit, but Mason Mount. And speaking of donkeys, the donkey has arrived. Speaking of terrorists,
you can't
the guy
do
with
that,
the
man.
terroristic opinions has arrived. Joining us on the channel is none other than the channel's favorite stallion, because he's been upgraded. Man like Tom Little. Big up to you, my brother. Big up to you. Big up to you.
There's intros and then there's being called a donkey. Sorry for being late. I didn't realize that was the response I'd get.
No, listen, you know you're not a donkey. You know, you are a stallion. A horse, at least. A horse, minimum. So, Rax, tell us your thoughts. And Rax, I'm telling you right, I'm warning you. If you sit on the fence today, Rakesh Singh won. Me and you are going to fight up in this video. I'm telling you right now. No more fence sitting, brother. No more fence sitting. Say it, Rax. Say it with your chest.
Rax, just before you go and sorry, Rax, just before you go and defend FSG, remember, my cousin's life is on the line.
One more thing as well, just before you go, Rax. I obviously missed it beforehand. What mug you drinking out of? Because that's like the bright part of every stream. I get to see what mug you're drinking out of.
Me, that was glass. Green tea, man.
Oh, he's got a glass. FSG have stopped funding him. He's got to have a glass now. He's going to get a nice fancy mug.
Curtis, is not such a Middle Eastern mug right here. Look at it. This is so Middle Eastern, nice. I swear to
God. I must admit that was a great story by Kurdish, because when the man started talking about getting on a donkey, I thought he was like, oh yeah, they go to work, they travel 5 hours to go to work, or they go to the market or something like that. Then he said to the Champions League final. I'm like, taking it back to football. The thing is, everything that Kurdish said is right. Ultimately, it's come at a time in the past, 5 years or whatever, the club has spent prudently. They've some would say tightly. They've penny pinched. They whatever. Sometimes I think there have been legitimate reasons. I've said it before. Things like COVID and stuff. I know people like to brush that under the carpet. I think that if you look at from a business point of view, some of the stuff makes sense. But ultimately, if you're running a business, at some point you need to invest in your business. People like Arsenal and stuff like that, they were out spending 150 million pounds. They took that chance because they felt that they needed to make the club step up. We spent conservatively. Now it comes to a point where they've rolled the dice a few times, and I think everybody deserves a share of the blame for this. I don't think anybody comes out with this with their hands clean. They've rolled the dice a few times, and in general, they haven't been made to pay for it too much. They rolled the dice last season, and people have varying opinions on whether last season was successful or not successful. I really enjoyed last season, despite the fact in the end we fell short in a couple of competitions. But the performances this season have shown that you can't continue to roll the dice. This is only going to get worse. And as a business owner, regardless of whether you're talking about football, but as a business owner, if you feel like your business is moving in the wrong direction, you need to adjust. You need to adapt. You need to invest. You need to step up. Basically, you need to step up, and everybody needs to step up. I think I've said that in the past. There's part of the reason I think it seems like we've gone away from our models, or the model that's been we've used historically, and with everybody moving in the right direction, same direction. There's nowhere left to hide. Whether Jude is the solution or not, who knows? I don't know. But I think we're all in agreement that significant surgery is required to the team. Look, I said in the January window, if we don't sign a midfielder, that's negligence. if we don't strengthen to the degree that we are required to strengthen in the upcoming summer transfer window, it goes far beyond negligence. It becomes a situation of, you know, I can't even
Just
articulate
stupidity,
it. To
let's
be
be
honest.
real. Like,
Yeah. Because ultimately, we are one of the biggest clubs in the world, and you have one of the. If you want to look at it from a purely financial or business point of view, you've got to invest in that business. If you don't, it's only going to go one way. It's already started going one way this season. Oh God, Ram. Kidding.
Rax, say it with me. FSG out. Let's go, Rax.
Sam,
Well, Sam, look, I've said FSG out previously no, because when it looked like they were going to sell the club, I said, if you're not committed to Liverpool Football Club, I'm not committed to you.
He has said
that. And that goes for the
he said it
players,
on this channel,
the manager,
the
team, Carol and Caroline, whoever. If everybody's not fighting together, don't big up Carol and Caroline, by the way.
It's a bad thing, in it, that we know the names of our dinner ladies more so than some of the key staff behind the football club.
By the way, we have to thank Oxlade-Chamberlain for that, for all the YouTube work he's done on the channel. Big up to him. He's the reason why Liverpool's channel has so many subscribers. Let me just say one thing to what Kurdish and Rax said before we go, Tom, and then we just open the floor up. My thing is as follows. It's a matter of principle for me. You mortgage this whole season based on us getting Jude Bellingham. You mortgaged this whole year. You said, guys, next summer, we're going to get Jude Bellingham. So ride out this season. We ain't going to get no one because we're going to get this guy, this star player that's going to take us to the promised land next season. Whether I, Tom, Kurdish, Rax, whoever it is on earth rates Jude Bellingham or not, that's not what matters to me. It's about the principle. It's about the idea. If you tell me, Hussam, here you go, you're going to ride this bicycle for the next year so you can get a Ferrari in the summer, don't come in the summer and tell me, oh, you can only have a Toyota now. That's just not how life works. Because this is the thing that's probably frustrating people more than anything else, is we've essentially wasted this whole year for no reason then. We just wasted this whole season for absolutely no reason. I don't want to hear even why it's even worse. You look at this Arsenal City title race, and hand on heart, all jokes aside, I genuinely believe had Liverpool taken last summer seriously, we'd have dog-walked this league. We'd have absolutely dog-walked this league. We were ready to just get 3-4 players in, and that situation would have changed like that. So my thing is, we just wasted a whole season, a whole year for absolutely no reason whatsoever. And here's the thing, by the way, Rax himself said this before, and I never thought about it the way Rax did, but he was right. Certain signings, it's not even about being less than 40 million, are still Moneyball signings. Jude Bellingham could play for Liverpool for the next 10 years. And when he's 29, you could still sell him for 120 million after squeezing the hell out of that lemon. You could still sell him for 120 million. So what I'm telling you is, here you can have this Ferrari, you can have this Lamborghini for the next 10 years for 5 million. And then 10 years from now, you're going to sell it for 5 million. Everyone's taking that. Everyone's taking that whether you have money or not. And my issue with this whole money situation is as follows. This is where, for me, I lose my mind. Rax said, there's been situations where it's understandable why they don't spend money, COVID, blah, blah, blah. Okay, no problem. My problem is as follows. COVID, we won't spend money. Champions League, we won't spend money. Win the Premier League, we won't spend money. Win the Champions League, we won't spend money. Outside top 4, no money. Inside top 4, no money. Yeah, when do we have money? When do we have money then? Is there any scenario on earth in which we have money? The truth is, football is not a profitable sport for 99% of the clubs. It is not a profitable sport. People don't go out there making insane amounts of profit and money because you've got wages and you've got the cost of running a club and you've got all that shit, which is why all these clubs were pushing for the Super League. So my thing is, look, this is an investment for the future.
That's true, Sam. You don't make massive amounts of money on a yearly basis, but what you do have is capital appreciation, the value of the club.
100%.
We know that because we know what Liverpool is worth now versus 12 years ago when FSG
revenues and I know you know this, Rax, but just so everyone who's listening kind of gets it, revenues and profits are two different things. When I say revenue is pre-expenses. Profits is after expenses. Now, when you look at most football clubs, the money that they make in terms of profit is not that high, and it's normal. The whole idea of investing in a football club is exactly what Rax just said. Is 10 years from now, this 300 million asset is going to be a 4 billion asset. And you know, the thing is, me and Kurdish and FSG outers pre this season, and Rax will know this from interacting with a lot of people who probably were on his side of the fence a year ago, would label us with sort of accusations that, you know, oh, FSG outers, they just want us to spend 300 million and cripple the club. Well, guess what? Because we have neglected the past 4 or 5 windows in terms of like summer windows, and we haven't spent properly as required, we now do actually need to spend that much money because of neglect. Now I do have to bring out 250 million. Now I do have to bring out 300 million. And guess what? Let me make something clear. I'm putting my reputation on the line right here, right now. 302 people watching, probably some asshole clipping this, but I don't care. I'm going to give you the truth. The truth is as follows. And I promise you, I am 100% speaking the truth, nothing but the truth. You know me. When I don't know, I say I don't know. I'm not an ITK. Don't follow me for transfer information. But what I do know, I will always relay back. I know for a fact, I'm looking at my hand right now, that Jude Bellingham wants Liverpool Football Club. It's not about his dad supporting us or none of that shit. Jude Bellingham actually wants to be a Liverpool player. He wants us. Klopp wants him. What are we waiting for exactly? What's the situation here? Like, if a player of that caliber who's 19 and you can use for the next 10 years and still sell him on for the same price as telling you, I want you so bad, and the manager's telling you, I want him so bad, there's no reason for us to wait. And the last point, and I'll say this before we go to Tom. Here's the thing. Trust is big in relationships. In your relationship with your football club, in your relationship with anything, trust is a massive thing, right? And I'm sorry to say this, but I will be honest and ruthless. My trust towards Klopp in terms of transfers is gone. My trust towards the club in terms of transfers is gone. My trust towards FSG in transfers is not just gone, it's absolutely gone down the drain. So my thing is as follows. If we don't get Jude, do I trust Liverpool Football Club to then go take that 120 million and spend it on the 3 right players? Absolutely not. And that is where the problem lies. If you offered last season, every single one of us here, Hussam, would you rather have Jude or Kone, Ugarte, Caicedo, for example? Every single one of us would have taken Kone, Ugarte, Caicedo. Every single one of us would have probably taken that option. But now, the same shit is happening again. Yet again, we're getting linked to these dead players. And listen, you might say, oh, Sam, you're exaggerating. They're not dead. They're better than what we have. You know who's also better than what we have? Fred. Hand on heart, Fred is better than every single midfielder not called Thiago at this football club based on his performances this season. He actually is. That does not mean that I want Fred. The benchmark cannot be how shit the Liverpool midfield is. The benchmark is the level that you want to get to. That should be the benchmark. So for me personally, I don't trust that they take this 120 M's and go spend it on 3 right players. I don't. I think they take this 120 million, they go get Mount, they go get Nunez, and they go get a McAllister or someone like that. And that for me is the biggest middle finger to every single one of us because they're disrespecting our intelligence. Mount is better than what we have. But who gives a shit? Because, okay, Kurdish, for the sake of argument, he's better than what we have, but who gives a shit? Because that's not the issue. I think his profile don't suit us. Yes, Nunez is better than what we have, but once again, Nunez, look, bicycle to Ferrari is different than bicycle to Toyota. You're still driving a Toyota at the end of the day. It's not a Ferrari. It's not a Lamborghini. And I'm trying to go back to Lamborghini. And my final statement, sorry, I've spoken for long, but there's a lot on my mind before we go, Tom. Look, when you go into a whole year and you tell me this season we're going to throw down the drain, so next summer we have this big summer, and this summer is the 5th, next summer is going to be the big summer, I cannot be patient anymore. And I'm proud, finally, proud of Fredman TV. You have finally woke up, my people. You have finally woke up.
What have they said? I've been out of the loop a little bit. What did Redman TV say?
Jack lay into FSG. There's a girl called Chloe who laid into FSG. And this is what you need. Because you know what it is? Kurdish said this once on this show. Rax agreed with him. Tom agreed with him. And I think it was Mons on the channel who agreed. Liverpool fans are extra patient. We ain't Chelsea. We ain't any of them clubs who lose their mind directly. We are extra patient. But if you take us for fools, we will all turn. You cannot tell me here, wait a year, and then I'm going to give you Jude, and then come out 2 months before and tell me, oh, we can't compete financially. Well, why did we surrender this season for nothing then? So I wasted a year of the prime of Alisson, Robertson, Van Dijk, Salah, Fabinho, all these players who are 29, 30, 31. We just 1 year of their latter career down the drain. You can hold that for no reason whatsoever. So this is the thing that I say. Go on, Tom, and then we open the floor up. Can you get off Tinder and come back to the show, my brother?
I was finishing off my 4-point plan to fix the club. I've got it written down
Only
on
4?
a piece of paper here.
Only 4?
It goes deeper into it, but it's just the 4 things that I think need to be done. This is all under FSG's constraints as well, unfortunately. Step 1. Sell Joel Matip, Curtis Jones, Queeveen Kelleher, Naby Keita, Oxlade-Chamberlain, James Milner, and Nat Phillips, with the hopes of recuperating 60 million. Or 50. I'll take 50. I'll take whatever I can fucking get for Jones. I'll take whatever I can fucking get for Jones, to be honest. So give me like 25 for Kelleher, 15 for Matip, 10 for Phillips, and then like I'll take some walk, or like some crisps, or if you want to do me bacon butty or something, I'll take that for Jones. That'll give me more happiness. Inns, Manu Kone, Manuel Ugarte, Alexis McAllister, either one of Orkun Kochku or Pedro Goncalves, Inacio, and one more centre-back. I'm not a scout. I don't know all the good young centre-backs in the world. You'll probably settle for that Wolfsburg one. Whoever it is, I just need a centre-back. Number 3, change of formation/system. Back to the old style of playing. That is how we are successful. That is what this club is built upon. We are not Man City. Stop trying to play like Man City. We work better when we are pace and power, because it's what the fan base likes. Number 4, changes in backroom staff. We need different points of view and ideas. However high up or low down you want that to go, whether it's a coach or whether it's an assistant manager, something has to change, because it's clear that the ideas have gone stale and the motivation just simply isn't theirs. The ideas and the motivations and everything, that missing out on the quad took a bigger hit than we ever thought. So I think there needs to be a change up.
Imagine this happens, Tom, by the way, because you mentioned Goncalves. If he goes to Aston Villa, I'll honestly, I actually don't know what I'll do to myself.
They've made better midfield signs than us in the past 3 years. That Boubacar
Even the
Kamara
Kamara guy that came in, by the way.
But yeah, sorry, there's 5. I completely forgot there's 5 as well. Let me just write this down as well. 5.
New doctor.
Sack the medical department.
I knew it. I know this guy.
Sack the medical department. I don't care if you get new ones in or if we just go with the NHS. They're probably better off for it than Chris Morgan has been this year. But yeah, change the medical department, because that stinks.
Listen, Tom, the problem
there's
with
a short list of
your
people
list...
I don't want as well. There's a short list of people who, you know, if they enter this football club, we are done for. It's 2 names. I'm not picky. I'll accept a lot of people. I'm like, Mateus Nunes comes in, I'll back him. Sound. There's 2 names. Mason Mount. No. And I know what this club's like. I know what this manager's like. He'd go, Mason Mount's off the cards. We'll go for the younger Mason Mount. Conor Gallagher. No, I don't want Conor Gallagher.
There's a third name, by the way, Tom.
Who's the third name? I'm all right with Ward-Prowse.
Oh, God.
I'm all right.
He's literally a Henderson with free kick ability.
Modern Charlie Adams. That's what.
I'd take Ward-Prowse for backup right back.
This guy, bro. I'm done with you. Here's the thing.
He'd be like Milner 2.0. Would have Milner 2.0 and Ward-Prowse. He can cover it fullback.
Listen, let me just run through the super chats. Also, guys, there's 400 people watching. We ain't even on 100 likes yet. It's 2:32 a.m. Jordanian time. Rax is using a glass instead of a mug. Tom Little is wearing his Madrid shirt for the 5th stream in a row.
It's
Bayern, even worse. And you still haven't liked the video.
Well,
that's even worse.
It's got Mane on the back, Kurdish. You've got some support. It's got Sadio on the back.
Boo you, bro. Boo you, fam. Boo you. Everyone watching us right now, make sure you slap the like button. Make sure you subscribe. We're going to run through the super chats now. Guys, get involved as well because there's a few, I think, addressing a few of your points. By the way, this right here is a shrewd signing if they do go down. I like him as a backup. Backup. Big up to Amin who says, Hussam, you want it all under FSG. FSG should stay. Amin is also a Manchester United fan and a full-time troll. So all we will say is thank you for the super chat.
Hold on,
And then
they
we
want it
will move
all. They want it all under the Glazers.
on.
Yeah.
They should stay. Perfect
Keep them
point. Big up to Mo who says, in a perfect world with our planning, our midfield should have been Chouamani in 2022, Bruno Guimaraes in 2021, 2022, and Jude this summer. And this goes back, Mo, to what me, Kurdish, Rax, and Tom have agreed upon. Had we signed one more guy every window for the last 3 years, we would not be in this position. No one would be even shouting if we didn't get Jude, because we would have had Bruno Guimaraes. We'd have had actual good players in this team. So no one would have bitched and moaned. That's just the truth. Thank you so much, Mo. Selection says, Barca woman greater than dirty Yargi. Oh, God. Fucci X Nike. I like that combo. Fucci X Nike. I think he's talking. Is this a Gucci hat, my brother?
Yeah.
Yes. I think he's talking about you. Selection always backing the KDL
Is it
member.
Nike? Is it Nike or is it Nike?
It's Nike.
I mean, it's Nike
See, because
officially.
Scouts
unless you're
just
in
say it's Nike. It's Nike.
So does everyone
no
in England
E.
does.
It's just Nike.
I can't lie. Arabs say Nike too, mostly.
Nike, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd understand
easy.
if like the whole word was lowercase except the E, because that's where you go Nike. But it's just Nike.
I swear I watched the
Everything.
video like of the CEO and he said Nike or something. So I just
It
said
is Nike.
for
It is Nike. It is.
Yeah, just move
Yeah, well,
on.
they're weird. I
Big
don't
up
like them
Hussein
sponsoring our
says,
club.
Sam, good
Bring
to see
Adidas
your
back.
good to see your ugly face, bro. By the way, Chris from Batman had a meltdown after the news about Jude. Missing out on Jude might be a good thing, I hope. Look, and I'm gonna say this because sometimes our part, which is the FSGOUT part, also we also need to do better. Missing out on Jude is not a good thing in any way, shape, or form. Jude Bellingham is a midfielder for the next 10 years who's a generational talent that doesn't come around often, that can do everything on the pitch at 19 years old. He can shoot, he can dribble, he can pass, he can create, he can do everything you need. He can play in the 8, he can play in the double pivot, he can play in the 10. He can do everything that is required. There is nothing, even if FSG do leave, at the end of the day, it is still a season of suffering next season. That's the thing. Like, big up to you, Qusay. Qusay, by the way, from Palestine as well. Big up to you. Big up to Mo, who says COVID didn't only happen in Liverpool, Rax.
Yeah. Do you want me to address that or?
You know what though, Rax? Just before, because I do need to say this. It's ridiculous just how much this club blames on COVID. Because from what I've heard, and not facts before Kurdish jumps on me, because I know what he's like about the facts and opinion, not facts. The plan originally was for us to win that Premier League title and then sell one of Salah, Mane and Firmino. Spend that money on the rest of the squad and restart it. But COVID happened. We couldn't get as much money because people were scared to, invest such big amounts after the pandemic. So we didn't sell, and now that apparently threw the plans off because apparently we couldn't just sell them a year later or anything. So that's fun.
Is that
Rax, go on.
I don't know what to say about it. That's not something that I've ever heard with any kind coming from anyone with any credibility. You may be right.
You haven't drove in Liverpool taxis. I've learned so much about the inner workings of this club from taxi drivers. It's ridiculous.
Fair enough. Everyone in all the taxi drivers in Liverpool got their inside source, so fair enough.
Oh yeah, everyone knows someone from the club. That's how you know.
Why are you saying Rax on the COVID thing? But to be fair, it's a valid point. Everyone did have COVID.
Yeah, no, I know, but this is why it comes back to my point that at some point you need to invest in your asset. You need to invest in Liverpool Football Club's owners. When COVID happened, COVID happened towards the last third of the season we won the league. There was no fans in the stadium, and then the following season, and there was no plans to have fans in the stadium moving forward. There was no concrete idea whether stadiums were going to be open. That 80 or 90 million that the stadium brings in every year, there was no sign of when that was going to come back, right? So I can understand why, as a business owner, and I'm a business owner myself, during COVID, my company was losing money every day, but we stayed open. We had to stay open because at some point you think, at some point we are going to get out of this. And if my competition have shut down, it's going to be much more difficult for them to get clients than for me. Even if I'm losing money day in, day out, I'm still providing. I'm still there. I'm still at the forefront of their mind. I can understand why they were a bit hesitant, and even the following season, when I can understand why they would be a bit nervous. But at the same time, other teams like Arsenal, they took a gamble, they invested, and at some point you need to invest. And you're right, COVID didn't happen other places. Arsenal lost something like, I don't know, crazy hundreds of millions of pounds over. I think Arsenal have lost something like 350 or 320 million pounds over the last 4 years. So, there comes a point where you need to start investing, even if things aren't looking up. You can't be conservative all the time if you're going to be an entrepreneur. And John Henry and these guys, they made their money in private equity and hedge funds and all this kind of stuff. You need to be able to take a calculated risk at some point, and that's what they didn't do. And
we never took the risk. That's the problem.
Yeah,
even for the following windows.
Yeah, and the thing is, this summer, okay, if you don't spend the money this summer gone, then okay, that's a decision you made, but you also make that decision within the context of, I think we can go again. We can run it back with these players. We've got another season. If you decide to not spend the money, but then these players have hit a brick wall, this team has hit a brick wall. There is no that they can't go again. And in fact, there's been a massive fall off. Then inevitably, I was trusting in that judgment, in your judgment, and saying that okay, we're not going to drop off. We can maintain it. We can go again. If that doesn't happen, I have to seriously question everybody, and everybody deserves
100%.
scrutiny.
100%. Big up to Will, who says, "I hope Linda cheats on John." Hashtag FSGOUT. Hey, Linda. Linda, DM me, حبيبتي. DM me. We take him down together. Divorce, take half his money, and then me and you buy Liverpool. Big up. Big up to
like the older woman.
Hey, allow it. If LFC signed the centre back in 2020, you win the title. If LFC signed the mid in 2021, you win the quad. Last summer, if you had signed the mid, who knows? It's stupidity by FSG. Big up, lads. Also, Salah over Mane. Felipe, I love you, brother. I really do, for that last comment. And by the way, Felipe has no emotional attachment whatsoever to Liverpool Football Club because he is a Newcastle fan. And he's speaking nothing but the truth. Also, Felipe supports Bayern Munich, and he's telling you Salah over his own player. Now, I don't want to do a Salah Mane debate. The international break is upon us. Inshallah, we will do that one day. Now, when it comes to all these things that you said at the start, this is where the frustration lies. And I think this is why even the people who are patient, like the likes of Frax and others, by the way, more patient, more tolerant people than me, have now lost their mind. Because every time it seems like you're just one step away. Like it's just like one little thing and we win the league.
The thing is, right, like I'm in general, I'm patient. But nobody's patient is infinite, right? Ultimately,
no, but that's not my point.
Changes,
I said just more patient.
I'm not talking. Yeah, I'm not talking about. Yeah, I'm just saying in general. Like,
I'm crazy.
As the information changes, as performances on the pitch change, as stuff starts coming out about the structure of the club and the way transfers are being made and people are leaving and all that kind of stuff, as that kind of information comes out, I become more and more concerned because we're moving away from a situation where everybody's pulling in the right direction, we were successful, to a situation where things are becoming less organized, and the more concerned I get, the more trust and more faith you lose in as someone who is patient. So it's a natural situation. And similarly, look, if we come back next season and for the next 2 or 3 seasons we spend money, we're super successful, whatever, I also expect sensible people who've been on the other side for a while to also, look, I'm looking at Kurdish now, to temper their opinions, right? Because no one should be in such a rigid,
if it's done repetitively, of course. Me and Kurdish will both change.
Exactly. Because it's not about sticking to one opinion and dying on that hill. You need to have an open one on both sides, including me.
Just so you're aware, Sam, Rax DM'd me a couple of days ago when the Bellingham news dropped, and he said, "You do realise if we don't get Bellingham, can you find me a seat on the plane? I want to be the pilot myself."
Did they actually say that?
Yeah, I've got the message. I'll share it if you like.
Big up, Rax, man. Big up. Listen, I'm proud this glow up. And listen, FSG outers also are not people who have no brain cells. You know, me and Kurdish and Tom Little, for the next 3 years, Liverpool win 2 Prems and a Champs. Liverpool win 2 Champs and a Prem. And it's sustained. And it's not, you know what's the most frustrating part for me? Every time you're just missing one thing. Like, you know, this summer I'm going to fix my leg, but my arm's going to get broken. Next summer, I'm going to fix my arm, but my stomach will hurt. The season after, I'm going to fix my ear, but my eye's fucked up. Like, there's everything. Even the Luis Diaz signing. Who would have known? What if we did that in May? What if somehow, some way we did that in May and he just gave us 3 points better off? Who would have said we wouldn't have been league champions? Honest to God. Honest conversations. The Konate thing, you know, what if we just signed a serious centre back in January, for example? That summer, okay, league champions. All this shit matters. What if instead of getting Adrian, we got a serious backup goalkeeper? We win the Champions League. We do the double. It's always like, what if? And that's the problem. Big up to Mo, who says, Sam Akhi, how can I convince you that Enzo Lefebvre is the one as a starter, not Kone? Enzo makes more tackles and a more physical league, better dribbler, better against the press, and going forward, it's not even a competition. Let me tell you now, selection in the comment section is erect. Reading this super chat, he is hard because Enzo Lefebvre is selection's dream, and I've heard nothing but positive stuff about him. I can't lie. Now,
You do know where Enzo Lefebvre was going in January, don't you?
Bournemouth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but you know why he's going Bournemouth. Don't be disingenuous also.
I just think the arguing on stats in this context, like, you made more tackles, yeah. Vidic made more tackles than Van Dijk. I still think Van Dijk's a better defender. Like,
Solid
you need
point.
to apply context to them. He's probably making more tackles because they are a more, attacking minded team who play a higher press. Mönchengladbach don't play that way. Mönchengladbach are a little bit shit if you haven't watched them. They only turn up for Bayern. So Claudio Kone doesn't make as many tackles. He's also in a little bit more.
Can you check for us, because you know where to get stats? Who has more tackles, Henderson or Thiago this season per 90?
Thiago.
Just check. Just
Thiago.
check. Okay,
I don't need to. I don't need to. I know it's Thiago. And
can you just give me the actual number, Tom? Just give me this much for this much. Just do it, Tom. Come on, man.
I can give you the per 90 stats. I can't find the exact amount of numbers.
Yeah, give me the per 90. Yeah, that's what I want. Per 90. We cannot find the exact. They're doing it for the exact because Thiago ain't been here half the time anyway. So
Thiago Alcantara.
Tell her. Look, here's the thing, Mo. This goes back to what we said earlier on. There's many midfielders on earth who can improve us. Many. Kone, Enzo, Caicedo, blah blah blah. 100 million people.
Philip Billing.
It's about selecting the actual right ones. This is the thing for me. I wouldn't be mad if we got Enzo Lefebvre. I'd celebrate that signing 100%. But once again, it depends what you give me as a collective. Enzo Lefebvre, Ugarte, Jude, we partying. Enzo Lefebvre, Mount, Ward-Prowse, we are shouting. So it depends of what happens elsewhere.
I've got the numbers.
Give me the number.
Let's do the lovely little guessing game that we do every time I go find my stats. What do you think Thiago's tackles per 90 is to the nearest, like, one decimal place, so like 2.5 or something?
Tackles one or just tackles in general?
Tackles per 90. Just tackles per 90. I think it's tackles one, to be fair. It just says tackles per 90, but I think it's tackles one.
Yeah, of course. It's going to be the one tackles, not the last ones. I'd say, do you have Henderson's one out as well?
I have Henderson's one as well, but we'll just start off with Thiago at first.
I'd say Thiago. Let's just do both guesses together so we can move on. I'd say Thiago 7.2 tackles, Henderson 4.5 tackles. Kurdish?
I would go Thiago 5.2, 5.1, and Henderson 2.1, 2.2.
Rax?
I think you.
Thiago 5.5 and Henderson 4.2.
Right, you man don't know tackling numbers. It's not that high. It's really not that high. Thiago is in the top 9% of players in the world for tackles won in midfield, and he's got 2.98. Jordan Henderson Jordan Henderson is in the bottom 25% for tackles won in the world out of midfielders with 1.7.
You know Jordan Henderson. You know when it comes to football games, if I'm speaking metaphorically, is that the word, Rax?
Metaphorically.
Metaphorically, right? He's
I'm
got
literally
an
Jordanian. Have some
You know,
shame.
just let me land. Jordan Henderson's got an arsehole like a wizard's sleeve because he gets fucked every single game, every weekend. Every weekend he doesn't win a tackle. He doesn't have anything in him. I looked at his stat today because somebody shared a goal where Jordan Henderson walked through a championship team in the Carabao.
I saw this tweet, and
Did you see
there's
it,
the
Tom?
amount of sarcasm driven from it. Our captain leader, he's only done this 33 times in 500 games.
He scored a whooping 33 goals from midfield in 480 games. My midfielder has scored 33 times in 480 games.
That's an insane stat.
What do you mean it's an insane stat? He's not a footballer. What midfielder, professional midfielder, is scoring you 33 goals in almost 500
Winter
games?
Surfer is offering you something, Kurdish. He's telling you 2-for-1 special. Martin Gallagher.
Do you want...
keep Mount, give me Gallagher. Give me Gallagher.
Do you want to know what kills me though about Henderson? Because FBref do a comparison thing, which is the most sort of similar players. And I've got the comparison ones for Thiago and Henderson. Thiago's 3 most similar players are Moises Caicedo, Marco Verratti, and Ismail Benacer. Jordan Henderson's 3 most similar players are João Moutinho, Corentin Tolisso, and Pedro Chirivella.
Our Pedro, the Pedro that we let go?
Our Pedro Chirivella, the top in Nantes in France, is as good as Jordan Henderson is.
I heard that wrong, but then I realized you're talking about the club. Big up to you, Winter Surfer, but you can keep your 2-1 special and shove it, my brother. Big up to you, man. Do not say what the word is. Do not say what the word is because we're already at the threat of demonetization, thanks to Kurdish. Big up to Ice, who says, Toby Lerone, why don't you ask Kurdish the stupid questions you were asking weeks ago regarding the plane instead of hiding? FSGN crowd always run. FSGN crowd disappeared 2 days ago when we got the article regarding us not signing Jude. A day later, when Fabrizio says there's still hope, they come back and they appear again. Welcome to the world of a top red bastard. This is their life. Whenever there's anything that is so strong, FSGOUT, they disappear. When there's anything that gives them a glimmer of hope, they're back again. That's just the truth, my brother. And that could be Toby or anyone else. Big up Rax and Ben Doak Region Tom. Big up to you, Winter Surfer. Thank you so much for the super chat, my guy. This guy. Big up to Khusay, who says Super League back on track. FSG decide not to sell. Smells fishy. A yank with no bath for a month, fishy. Tom, school night, bro. Ramadan Kareem. Tom, have you got school in the morning?
No.
No, you have got school, university.
No, I've not got it tomorrow.
Oh, see? So Qusay can hold that regardless. But big up to you. Thank you so much for the super chat.
I found the comparison matrix for Curtis Jones as well, and I know Curtis is gonna love this especially. Obviously, Curtis Jones has less minutes played, so his numbers are a little bit inflated. And as such, it says the top 5 most similar players to Curtis Jones are Ilkay Gundogan, Nicolo Barella, Pedri, Alexis McAllister, Fede Valverde, and the 6th most common one is Frankie de Jong. He's the key.
There's more similarities between me and Rax than Curtis and those players. Honestly,
if you line them players up, and 2 people are picking teams, Curtis Jones is the one that's left last, and everyone's going, "No, you have him. No, you have him. No, you have him."
He's the last picked in PE, basically. 100%.
Curtis Jones.
He's got the exact same top 5, but he's got even better ones because he's got Kevin De Bruyne and Martin Odegaard as well.
Curtis Jones, when he's on the football, he's about as precise as a blind man riding an electric bull. He stays on and he doesn't see anything around him. He picks up the ball.
Your analogies confuse me,
Wait, he looks around. Tom, he looks around.
There's a donkey in there somewhere.
There's a donkey in there somewhere. Curtis Jones.
Have you never been on an electric bull, Tom?
No, I know it's I don't know why out of all the analogies. My point wasn't I don't know what an electric bull is. My point was out of all the.
But have you actually tried it though?
Yes, I have tried an electric.
How long have you lasted? Be honest.
Oh my god, I was about fucking 11 or 12. I don't know, 45 seconds, a minute. I don't know.
That's a lie. You ain't lasted no 45 seconds unless it was the
I
kids
was a
one.
child. I was a child. Do you think he fucking turned it on full settings?
It's the one in the
money off me.
It's the one of the children's section, the mini ball.
Yes.
The one that's like
Obviously,
this.
it was that one.
It's the one in the
Tom,
playground,
you
which
got
is on a
the mini ball
spring.
now,
There
anyway.
is no electric part to it. You just go back and forth.
You could probably, Tom Little built the same as an 11-year-old anyway, so he could get on it now. Big up to Pond Alpha says, here's my issue. I actually think FSG have spent money. We dropped 150 on 3 forwards. The fault I have with FSG is that they know zero about football. Listen, FSG have not spent enough money. Spend money is a blanket statement. Rax has taught me, good English words to use. It's a blanket statement because you could say spend money about everyone. Everyone spends money. But whether it's enough, whether it's a lot, whether it's too little, Chelsea spend a lot of money because I think they put their manager in a situation where they have to put 12 new players through, which gives them a headache. So for us, we don't spend enough money every time there's something missing. Now, the last part I completely agree with, because an ownership group who actually understands the sport, who makes a concise effort to understand the sport, gets involved in football decisions. Last summer, looks at Jurgen Klopp in the face and said, yes, you're the manager, but here's a midfielder because it's crystal clear that you need one. So I agree with you completely from that side of things. Final 3 super chats before we continue. Buck says, I'll be honest, our future looks bleak with FSG at the helm. The investment talk has completely died down. Kurdish, we need that next plane ASAP. Well, my brother, we can't fly it over an Anfield with no game. Who's gonna report it? The steward. Come on, man. So we've got to wait for the game. Inshallah, next game it will happen.
Am I hearing May 9th, 4:30, Sky Sports, Liverpool, Arsenal, plane flying over?
Do you see Kurdish? He did the old body language. He starts rubbing his nose.
Listen, the one thing I have to say is I have to be careful with dates and time because Rax will sabotage it. He'll go to his top red friends and say, "This is when it is. We have to stop it." So I have to be cautious.
Listen, the timing of it is unannounced yet. We will agree on it still. We will agree on it. So it's not probably Arsenal. Maybe somewhere else. Could even be at an away ground.
But we even want it at Southampton. Yeah, I don't think it works if we're doing Southampton at home or something.
Nah, Southampton, no one gives a fuck about them. I'll be, Buck, I completely agree with you. And big up to everyone, by the way, who supported the whole idea for the plane. It's a form of protest. People like me who are halfway across the world, we can't go to Anfield and put our banner out. So this is a way of expressing discontent. And guess what? We got 5,000 segments the next day on all media companies. We got what we wanted. Big Up Selection says, out of curiosity, what's your business and are involved in the stock market? Ricky Rax.
No.
If he
He's
tells
not
you, he
involved.
has to kill you.
No, my brother is an investment banker, but I don't work in finance.
Rax, have you got any of these?
What's that? A Nokia?
A burner. A burner.
Oh, burner. No. My burner days are beyond me. I did at one point.
Hello? Big up to you, Selection.
Rax works one of those jobs where it's clean up or construction.
Hey, clean up is police code word for multiple things. with ruthless owners, we replaced Robbo with Davies. Hey, I agree with that, but Tom Little, he's got Robertson.
Why would we replace a left back with a left winger?
Because Davies would make us so sexy on the attack, unbelievably.
That's fantastic.
Wait, Tom, you wanted to bring James Ward-Prowse in as backup right back.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so you can talk.
Backup right back. He's on about replacing our first choice left back with a left winger.
Okay.
So we only have Tsimikas left. I still want Trent to stay.
Fair.
It's not like I'm saying bring James Ward-Prowse in for all 38 games of the Premier League season.
Okay, before we carry on, big up to Amin, Selection, Mo, big up to you, Habibi, big up to Qusay, big up to Will, Felipe, Winter Surfer, Ice, Pond Elf, and Buck. Big up to everyone who sends in a super chat, always shows us the love and support. Most importantly is every single one of you guys, please like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're ready to do it. There's still 400 people watching this channel, so slap up that like button, subscribe to This Is Football. I know there's going to be plenty of conversations all over the international break. YouTube algorithms are ruining us, so when you hit subscribe, hit that notification bell as well. So like, subscribe. So Kurdish, and then after that we open the floor up. In terms of the whole FSG conversations, do you actually see the fans turning slowly? in terms of just the people you interact with, or the people on your timeline, or
No, and do you know what's interesting? The people that do actually bother engaging. Rex, we just want to know about your personal life tonight. Forget football.
Why do
Forget
you want to know
football,
my
right?
marital
Yeah, no,
status?
I'm intrigued by this.
Liverbird, I know who you are. I will DM you later. I'll DM you. I'll tell you his.
I can't see a ring.
I'll give
I
you
can't
his
see a
at. I'll
ring.
give you his at, Habibti. I'll give you his at. Go on, Carlos.
But yeah, no, the people that the very few people that do interact with us, you'll always find they actually do come around, and they may not be completely FSG out, but they're open to conversation, and they do change. But the problem is we don't get enough individuals to have the interactions with because of the narrative that is so agenda driven. It's quite boring. But anyway, that's a different conversation. Look, I don't believe Jude Bellingham will be enough to turn the fan base. I don't believe it has to be a Jurgen Klopp leaving to turn the fan base. If Jurgen Klopp leaves, I think that will be the point where everyone says it's time to turn. But
But I disagree with you though, because many
I
people
listen,
said if Jude doesn't come, that they will turn.
Do you know what it is? You could tell by the fact that I'm stuttering a little bit because I'm trying to keep it clean what I want to say without offending anyone. But whatever I say is going to offend someone, because what it is the individuals that are not going to turn, they're not going to like it, but it's a very small mentality. These people have aspirations of Reebok. When it's their birthday, they go to their girlfriend, can you get me some Reebok trainers? Not even Nike, not even Adidas. We're talking about Reebok trainers, and they're happy. The reason they're happy is because before Reebok, they used to wear Umbro in Hicks and Gillette. So this is the thing, right? We've reached to wear Umbro.
Reebok, though. I think that's a slander on Umbro's name.
Oh no, don't do Reebok like that. Reebok is a big way round. What are we talking
Reebok
about?
used to be big, yeah. It would have worked better instead, like Slazenger.
Somebody put in the comment section, what the fuck is Reebok?
What the fuck is a Reebok?
that's how I know. I mean, we're maybe too old, but that's how I see it, right? So because they
Curtis,
had
do you remember And One? Have you ever worn them?
no.
You don't remember And Ones?
No. I'm not a
The
Reebok
basketball
man.
shoes, the ones that had the red thing on it and they were white.
I'm not a Reebok man, but this is what I'm saying, right? That the way I see it is, our standards have been so low, where because we're just above the average now. I personally don't think we are, but just above shit in the nicest word. These men are happy to just stand there and let it happen. And the problem comes to it is with FSG, what we're doing is we're playing Russian roulette with an automatic gun. You're going to shoot yourself at some point because it doesn't continue to work. However, these people are happy to shoot themselves. And the reason they're happy to shoot themselves is because, respectfully, they are idiots in the nicest way possible. The reason that is because I said whatever I say, I'm going to offend someone. So forget it. Let's do it. It's because they're idiots, because they feel, and I've said this, Liverpool should be grateful. Liverpool should be grateful. I've said this, forget this. Whoever is my owner, and if they have 50 assets or they have one asset, Liverpool should always be priority in that. Liverpool should always be priority, because actually, by having Liverpool, they're horrible, Hussam.
These are the And Ones.
Oh,
You're
Hussam, they're
horrible, bro.
horrible.
Don't respect And Ones like that.
What the fuck are they?
But to me, whoever owns Liverpool,
They look like moon boots. They look like the shit astronauts would wear on the fucking moonwalk.
Let me show you better examples. But carry on, Curtis.
What basketball player ever wore those on an NBA court?
Vince Carter, you disrespectful fuck.
Bollocks, he did. Bollocks, Vince did.
Tom got
No
up
way
for that
Vince
one.
Carter wore them.
But yeah, look, I'll wrap up. For me, it's whoever owns that asset should have Liverpool as priority above everything else. That's how I see it. And some people don't
Whole
do
grateful
that,
thing. I don't get it, Curtis.
Yeah, I don't. Bro, we're talking about Liverpool. Liverpool Football Club is one of the most recognized institution in world sports, not just football. They should feel honored they own Liverpool. But the problem is they have convinced a certain part of this fan base to believe that that's not the case, and that we should be grateful for them. So I don't think the fans will turn. I don't believe they will turn. I believe we're going to have to drop out of a top 4 consistently for the fans to turn. That's what I think.
Big up Selection
Can
Curtis
I
Jones,
just-
no more Lavish Jonesy, they're calling you now. Big up to you.
I'm not even. I'm Reebok. I'm not even. Like, what are we
Look, you
doing?
see, when I tell you I know stuff from when you were a seaman, no one ever disrespect my legacy like that,
my
brother. I know
God.
basketball. What is this? Who
Yes,
the fuck is this
you
guy?
didn't. I know that's Vince Carter, and that's him doing one of his great dunks. Yes, that's fine.
And what's
You
he
didn't
wearing?
show-
And one. So
Yes,
please.
yes, you did. The picture you showed was shit. I can get up a much better one of them, which would then make me
Your
go,
shit.
"Oh, they're
Your
not too
shit.
bad."
Kurdish
You
while you're at it.
showed me the side of one of them when they don't have the same pattern on both.
You disrespected Vince Carter. You
Where
know
did I
who Vince
disrespect
Carter is?
Vince Carter? I said who wore those shoes.
Okay, fair enough. Hey, Kurdish. Guys, go on.
Guy. I have been to the city multiple times, and for me, all I need to do is look at the surrounding areas around Liverpool, and that tells me everything I need to know about FSG. I go into Manchester, I go into Ashton-under-Lyne, and I go into Ancoats, and I see what their owners have invested into the city. I see that Ancoats was an area 6 years ago, and due to their owners, it's one of the most sought-after areas in Manchester right now in Northern England, right, where rent is almost £1,300 for 2-bedroom flats. That's how much investment has been made in Ancoats. And I look around Anfield, and I look at FSG, and I look at there has been no work done in the surrounding areas. Don't talk to me about Liverpool and me not understanding the city of Liverpool, because I lived up north for 9 years, and I used to get to Liverpool every weekend to watch this team play. Right, I understand the city. And you want to talk about food bans respectfully, two things can be true at once. I can donate money to charity when I need to, that's part of my religion. But if I'm also passionate about a cause, which I have been, God, I feel like I'm in a movie right now. If I'm passionate about a cause that I have been, I will donate to that, and I will get people to donate to that. The issue isn't about, oh, does he donate to this? You can't judge my moral compass on what you feel like, respectfully. I care about this club. I care about other causes, but I also care about this club. And I care about the city. As I said, look around the city and look at the surrounding areas, and you will understand why Fenway Sports Group do not care about Liverpool. And if you want to talk about papers, all you need to do is go to speak to someone at Liverpool Council. Even the Liverpool Council are not happy for the lack of investment that Fenway Sports have put into the city.
Hello,
ahead, Tom.
Toby, mate. Hello, mate. To
He's a
suggest that
scouser, see?
someone,
Thomas is a scouser. He has a purple bin
suggest
bag.
that,
He told.
shame on them, not donating to the food bank, etc., etc., etc. First of all, you're a fucking Toblerone, so your opinion instantly means a little bit less to me because you're a fucking chocolate bar. But I know people. I go to the game. I know loads of people. I know people who go to the game. They donate to the food bank. They still want FSG out. FSG, when they, I don't know how much you remember about the whole trying to get this stadium extension and the first one, not this one. This one was pretty smooth sailing, but to extend the main stand, there was a lot of almost a grey area that we fell into for a bit where we couldn't get it. There was planning permissions, etc., that we couldn't get. Yada yada yada. And FSG implied that provided that they were allowed to, they would buy out areas around Anfield and upgrade them and make them better for the city. That hasn't happened. We've got a lovely new shop just outside Anfield. Lovely new shop. You can go to that for all your Liverpool stuff, but the areas around Anfield are still crap. When you buy into a football club, you don't buy into a football club. You buy into the city. You buy into the areas around. You buy into the people.
The community.
That's what makes these football clubs great. That's what makes these football clubs have their legacies. And whatever owner comes in, FSG are the idiots for not doing it. Because whatever owner comes in and invests in the city and invests in the community, if you think FSG are loved, if you get me an owner who invests in the city, invests in the community, and has Liverpool at the forefront, they could stay for generations. They could pass it on to children, and they would still have 100% support because that's what it's about. That is what it's about. Football clubs have to grow and evolve, and FSG, yes, they've built us a new whoop-de-doo training ground. They almost nearly fucked us out of Melwood, and we had to wait for fucking Robbie Fowler and Jamie Carragher to buy that back so we could keep some of it. Because that was a brilliant thing FSG done. One of the most historic buildings in Liverpool history, and we sold it off like it was fucking nothing. Do not sit there and question people about how they fund and how they spend their money, because the biggest thing that someone can do is donate to charities, donate to food banks, and say nothing about it. Because if they're going to donate to food banks and to donate to charities just so they can wax lyrical about it and go, oh, look at me, I'm such a great person, then they've not done it right. You should be donating to this stuff for the cause. I've donated plenty to food banks because it's a cause I'm passionate about. I know people who rely on them. But I would never sit there on stream and go, oh, look at me, I'm amazing, I donate to food banks, because that's not what it's about. You don't want him to donate to food banks. You don't. Because if you did, you wouldn't be asking him to. That's the be-all, end-all.
100%.
You have to understand it.
Yeah,
I don't know if you're a Liverpool fan or not, fucking Toby. You fucking chocolate bar. I don't know. I really don't. You could be a fucking rival fan trolling.
You know, Tom, from our perspective, that last
last
statement that you made for me is the thing. Like, you see people always want to do virtue signaling. Like, oh, just because you donated £5
You know,
to
Rat has told you loads of words, hasn't he? Virtue signal as well.
he's taught me this word as well. Just because someone's donated £5 to a plane does not mean that he's not donated £50 to a charitable cause. This is the thing. Why does it have to be a selection of either or? By the way, me and Kurdish share the same faith. In our faith, what you donate with your right hand, your left hand can't know about. I will never ever tell anyone what charity work I do, or if I do charity work, or etc. Because you cannot flex you helping people in need. That's something that you should do in your innate nature. We're not going to come out and go out there and go like, hey, here's Hussam giving £10 to a poor guy. No one does that shit, bro. You could do both. You know, and the thing is, you using it to shame people who are expressing frustration just shows how low of a human being you are, and that's just the truth.
You're a shit chocolate bar as well. Toblerones are shit. Get a better one.
Yeah, they are, and by the way, they're overrated as hell. Shame on you, Kurdish, for wanting better for your club. That's what I'm saying. And by the way, let me give you an inside information on what me and Kurdish really felt on the day. He DM'd me. I was outside. We had a conversation, and he said, "Hussam, should we do this? Maybe we'd get the funds by the Arsenal game." 3 hours, people funded the first plane. 3 hours. And the thing is, this shows you how frustrated people are and how angry people are, and rightfully so. A big up to you.
That weren't my favorite. That weren't my favorite. The statements about the plane. It was when he sat there and said, "I'm worried that Jurgen Klopp might come out and have a go at me about it." And then the leader of KDL suddenly shamed by the man.
That was his biggest fear. Biggest.
Can I just come through? When we set up the plane, it all happened very quickly. I was on a space. A couple of fans said, "Look, we'll donate. Let's see how it." All happened very quickly, so I didn't fully think it through. I did the plane. A couple of days went past, and I said to Tom and Hussam, I said, "What if he comes out and attacks the plane? My whole brand is dead. I don't have a brand anymore whatsoever. Everything I'm built on is in the bin. But we didn't get a Klopp dagger.
Thank God. We actually got the reverse. Klopp came out and said he came out in an embargoed press conference and basically called out the owners, which is what we wanted.
It was the way he kept going about, oh, what do I do? Maybe I have to change the writing on the back so we can't have a go at it, because if I say Klopp in, then he can't have a go at it in this time. You were stressing.
I was.
The fact that it had Klopp in, I think for me was like the biggest, like, no, we're with you, Klopp. Toblerone is the average Redman TV sub and the average airport chocolate. I've never seen, I can't lie, Toblerones are expensive and overrated and crap. Just like Toby Lerone in this comment section. But big up to you.
What's even the point of it, though? You're paying like triple the price for a third of the chocolate bar because you just get holes in it. I don't want a holy chocolate bar.
Toby is John W. Henry's burner. I disagree, because if it's then he would have donated more than £5. If it is John Henry's,
he also would have yellow flowers. He would have yellow flowers as his profile picture.
He's the cheapskate. So he probably will give less than £5. You know, so big up to you.
I think the thing is, right. This is a football conversation, and you just don't do, like, just trying to again be measured about it. You don't do yourself any favors. If you can have that opinion about the footballing side of things, but when you're saying that you're conflating two completely separate issues in an effort to point score against someone you don't really know, you may know some of his opinions on one particular avenue. Like, it just doesn't do anybody any favors. Just like on the flip side, people who scream and shout about other people and swear and denounce, it's just sad, because there are people out there who are genuinely in need, and especially cost of living crisis and all this kind of stuff that's going on at the moment. People in the UK are really, really struggling, like Tom was mentioning. Like, anyone who's grown up in an inner city area, like I've grown up in an inner city area,
there's no joy in donating to a food bank. There's no. I hope there comes a day where I don't do it. I hope there comes a day where I never have to do it. There is no joy I take in donating to a food bank at all. So I don't know why.
And also, by the way, you know what?
Celebrate it.
There's something quite hypocritical about these people. Let's assume, for the sake of argument, Rax started up this show by saying, "Hey, I went to a food bank and I donated £500." People will do the exact opposite of what Toby said. People go like, "Why are you telling us? Like, are you trying to flex? Basically, you helping poor people?" This is the shit I mean. Like, people will just use these type of things to just get at you. I do both. I'll donate to the plane and I'll do charity. Why do I have to choose? That's the thing.
If you're going to sit there and be all high and mighty, why didn't you donate your super chat money to the food bank and just put it in the normal chat?
Good point,
Tom.
Good point,
Tom. Tom just killed it. I'm sorry, Tom just killed it.
You killed it. I can't lie. Take that £5, give it to the food bank. 100%.
You know what Rax said? One thing that when you were there, Tom was on the spaces, you were on the spaces, a lot of people were. The one thing that I continue to say is we are in the cost of a living crisis. If you can't afford £1, I do not want it. You put your family first, you put your own mental health first. I said, as long as you retweet, that's all I care for. So this whole narrative, it's so boring. At first it was Kurdish is stealing the money, then it was Kurdish is doing this, then it was why doesn't he give to the earthquakes in Syria and Turkey? And I was thinking, you do realize I've got family in them earthquakes. Like, I'm not going to tell you what I give to my own family. And it's a boring narrative, and the reason it's boring is because what you're trying to do is say, just because I care about one thing in my life, I should ignore everything else I care about. No, man, go fucking do one.
Man, super chatted his own demise. Toby, I can't lie. We just
I don't know what he did. What did you expect us to go? Yes, kid, they should have disgraced you. They should have.
It's insane. It's crazy, bro. Curtis, I'll need that play for next season if Potter is still in charge and if Mount signs a new contract. Hey, Curtis is gonna hook you up. He can give you the guy's
number. Can I just say shout out to Andrew?
Boy. Make him out to Chelsea boy. He gets what it means to be at this football club. He should be getting a new contract. He should be getting the captain's armband. He's Frank Lampard 2.0. Do not let us buy him. Don't let us buy him. Whoa, don't let us buy him.
Winter, sorry, Rex, before you go, Winter, I'll tell you what, if you keep Mason Mount, I'll fund the plane myself for you. I'll pay out of my own pocket for the plane for you.
He'll start it up. He'll give it a startup £100 for it. Go on.
Can I just say, big up Andrew. I just saw a clip that where he was he basically just totally annihilated Chelsea Dan, and it's brilliant. So big up Winter Surfer, man. He's a top guy, man.
Which Chelsea Dan?
You have to see it. It'll be on. It's on Twitter, so you'll see it. You'll see it pretty soon.
Send it to me, Andrew. Send it to me. You see this Andrew guy? He's very calm. But you know when you fuck with him, he just.
Do you know when he wasn't calm? Do you know when he wasn't calm when he realised that Holland Argentina was going to happen, and he was petrified for Holland Argentina being the deadest World Cup game, and it ended up being one of the best.
I do remember.
I still remember Andrew from group stages was like, I have the biggest fear that we get a Holland Argentina game. But to be unfair to the whole game, it actually turned out to be a good game as well. We got a free kick in the last minute. We got drama. I wouldn't complain. But he wasn't lying. That 2014 game was fucking dreadful. That 2014 Argentina Holland game. Don't ever watch it again unless you want to fall asleep. So, guys, what do we even speak about now?
Do we just go?
Can I just come back? Can I just come back at one of the things sorry, Kurdish. I'm sorry.
You were about to say Turkish.
Whoa,
brother.
I'm sorry.
Okay, my friend.
I don't like saying that people have a loser's mentality or don't have standards and things like that. I think all Liverpool fans, all we want is for Liverpool to win, right? It's just ultimately we have different opinions on how that should be done, and obviously people will have different opinions on how they, conduct themselves and what they want to do, and I think one thing that's been difficult over the last kind of year or couple of years or whatever is that it becomes when it becomes really toxic, and obviously it's happened this season more so than because off the pitch, the stuff on the pitch has been pretty dire. I don't think that people who haven't been FSG out don't want to win. I just think that that they have a different way about going about it. They want to give people opportunity. Maybe they want to give time and be patient or whatever. I don't think they necessarily want to win any less than any of us, really.
Do you know
I
what
may
it
be
is,
wrong.
No, I agree with you. And actually, if I take off my emotional hat and my big boy aspiration hats, FSG aren't horrendous. Let's put it that way. But it's about who we are.
Look at Sam's face just dropped.
just let me land. There's a guy that I speak to on Spaces, and he has the perfect analogy for it, right? For the context of all owners in the world, FSG are okay. But Liverpool, right? There's certain goals that only go out to Mayfair. They only go out to Mayfair, Dubai, or like Los Angeles, if you're going to take them, right. Liverpool are that. They're a bad B. There's a guy on Spaces that says they're a bad B, right? So when I'm looking at Liverpool, and if I want to take Liverpool out, I know I got to have Mayfair money. I got to be able to fly her out to Dubai, and she can't be meeting them princess to do them things. You know what we're talking about. You know what I'm talking about. I got to pay for her Dubai fund. I got to send her out to Los Angeles so she can go Disneyland. That's £1,000 just for Disneyland tickets, by the way. I know this. I know this, right? I can't have Liverpool and be taking her to Nando's. I can't be doing that, Rax. I can't be doing that. This is the difference. I'm taking Southampton to Nando's. I'm taking Tottenham. I might take Tottenham to Carluccio's if they're lucky, right? But Liverpool, I'm going Nobu. I'm asking for a holiday on a yacht.
Kopish is in his analogy bag tonight. Jesus Christ.
There's a donkey in there somewhere. There's a donkey there somewhere.
No, but that's where I am. And this is the thing. They're not horrendous owners, but we're Liverpool Football Club.
Is anyone's life on the line in Canucci's or Nando's?
I love the fact that Curtis went from riding donkeys on a hilltop to Nobu. Like, that is a transition and a half right there.
But this is what I'm saying. That the aspirations for Liverpool are much bigger than Nando's and Carluccio's. It's Nobu. It's a private yacht in Dubai. It's an all-inclusive to Los Angeles.
They're not though, Kurdish, though. That's the sad matter of fact. In the fan base, they're not, because there's a certain subsection of the fan base who sit there and think we're bad, but it could be worse.
Champions Leagues. Am I an ugly girl? I've got 6 Chanel bags. Am I an ugly girl?
The best way I can describe it. The best way I can describe it. Yeah, we had fantastic history. You look back on the pictures. You look back on the red carpet. You look back on the pictures, you look back on the red carpets, they're immense. We've been with some of the best in the world, the best lookers in the world, whatever. But we fucked up once, and they were ugly. And for those 6 months, it was shit. Everything that could have went wrong. And now there's a subsection of our fan base that just think about that. They go to bed thinking about it. They wake up thinking about it. Even when we won the league, they were sitting there fucking thinking about Roy Hodgson. So they sit there and go, we're bad now, but at least we're not losing to Northampton.
So just to confirm, what you're telling me is they're angry because, well, no, they're not angry. They're terrified because a couple of years ago they were working their way up and they hadn't been promoted and they were shopping at Primark, and because they've gone to Selfridges a few times, they're terrified about going back to Primark again. So they're happy staying at H&M. They
don't want to ever go back there, so they'll just settle for mediocrity.
Even though they had a taste of Selfridges, they're now happy to stay at H&M.
Mm-hmm.
I can't do that.
That for me is where the thing lies. What Curtis just said. The reason why we say that the whole thing, it's just that underdog-driven mentality of like, we want to do it this way, we want to do this, we want to do that. And the thing is, at the end of the day,
that is how
this for me, Tom. Let me just say, the bottom line problem for me is as follows. The bottom line is 10 years from now, no one's going to give a fuck about context. 10 years from now, they're going to go like, Klopp's era at Liverpool ended with 1 league title and 1 Champions League. That's all they're going to say. It ain't about, oh my God, we went up against City, so we had to fight. Blah, blah, blah. What do people, Rax, you're a smart man. Arsene Wenger. What do people say about Arsene Wenger? Let's be real. Like after he retired, do people now speak glory? Do they glorify him? They don't. They say he won 3 titles in 20 years. That's what they say. That's why they've got the likes of Mourinho above him.
But that's true, and there is an element of that's true. But the fans who lived through that period, who enjoyed that period, you're never going to be able to take that away from them. It's not.
No,
about,
I'm not telling you to take it away. I'm saying why do you have to be the underdog?
I didn't enjoy the Roy period.
No, I know, but
I want people to take that away from me.
No, I know, but it's not about somebody who maybe isn't even born yet in 20 years looking back at Liverpool saying, "Oh, we only won, 6 trophies in that period. What was so great about it?" It's about us. This is why I say last year. Before, no. But
I'm not talking about the self experience.
No, I know, but it's about. If you support a football team, okay, rivals come into it a little bit, but ultimately it's about whether you enjoy it, whether that period of time, whether it was enjoyable to you or not enjoyable to you, how your fan experience has been. Because ultimately, otherwise, it doesn't make any sense to support a football club.
Like, no, I agree with you, but that's not the point, Rax.
There's nothing logical about it.
Would you give up last season's quadruple charge, give it up, and give up that, for example, let's say this season and another season, give up give up 3, good to very good experiences with Liverpool for just an extra Premier and extra champs? You probably would, because that is elation. There's a difference between happiness and elation. I'm not trying to take your happiness away. No, I can't take your fan experience away. Of course I can't. And I can't take us celebrating the 5-0 against United or celebrating the 7-0. All of these things are moments that, of course, that they drive our happiness as fans. And I agree with you. But what I'm saying is the cold fact of the day is we have won 1 Premier League and 1 Champions League. And what Kurdish said is spot on. And if you want the best analogy, FSG are Jada Smith and we're Will Smith. She just has us by the balls. And we're out here getting embarrassed every fucking time. And the likes of Chris Rock, Manchester City, are out here doing documentaries and embarrassing us. So where do we go from here?
Someone in the
I'm going to be
upset.
So excuse me if I'm a little bit angry.
Someone in the comments after this video needs to rank the top 10 analogies so far, because we've had some doozies, we've had some...
That is a bad one. That is a bad one.
Rax, I'm going to put it this way, right? You can't expect me to go back to H&M when you've taken me to Selfridges, and I've seen Pep Guardiola in Selfridges, and he's given me a look how much I've spent, and I've just got in there and I've got my one piece, and you expect me to leave with one piece whilst he's there buying the whole shop out.
Why is he going to go back to the donkey when he's at the racehorse?
No, why is Pep Guardiola doing that? Tell me. I want to know, Rax, why is Pep Guardiola allowed to stay in Selfridges and I'm allowed to go in once?
I mean, I don't understand.
Is it because he's got a restaurant? Is he got a restaurant?
The analogy has been...
I've lost the track. I've lost the analogy.
Look, the analogy is the analogy is this, right?
Turn up in Selfridges.
Let me tell you. He's at Selfridges every day because I know Pep Guardiola's flat. I used to live 5 minutes from Pep Guardiola. His flat is a 7-minute walk from Selfridges, right? He goes in there every day and he buys all the nice things. Jurgen Klopp is about an hour from Selfridges. He went there once, bought 1 Champions League, and he had to look at Pep Guardiola and say, "Why'd you get to buy the whole shop out? I bought 1 Canada Goose and you've bought 5 Montclairs. How's that fair? How's that fair?"
So you deserve it if you're buying a fucking Canada Goose.
It's not fair. He's bought one Canada Goose.
Are you doing fucking League 2 away day next year?
I have no idea what any of these bougie ass things are. I have no idea. I have no idea.
I just want to know how we managed to end up in Selfridges. We've been from the back arse of Kazakhstan, where ISIS are in the mountains threatening to kill us, just to go watch the Champions League, to Will and Jada Smith, to Selfridges. That's an hour away.
We started on a donkey. Tom, before you. We started on a donkey before you.
There was a donkey apparently that I've missed. There's a donkey somewhere. I've missed one as well. There's another one that I've missed. Oh, the girl one about I used to be this and I've been down. Yada yada yada. So I don't know. Someone has to rank these best analogies.
Sam,
big up to the person who says I'd give anything to go back to the World Cup. Hey, me and you both, my brother. And you see, Rax, the comment that I'm about to put up is the exact reason.
Can I address this?
Okay, you can address it. No problem.
But he's not a Liverpool fan. I'm sorry. Look, the whole thing about Liverpool FSG saving us. I've been supportive of a lot of stuff FSG have done, but that's the FSG saving us stuff is just silly. I don't believe anything this guy has to say.
What else with the bosses? It's not like FSG were the only ones who wanted us. Yeah. But anyway, you've seen as Toby, the bang average chocolate bar has addressed me.
Stupid.
You've been a Red your whole life, local scouser that went to every game. Why have you stopped now then? Oh, sorry, you're spending your ticket money on super chats for the This Is Football channel to chat shit. Good on you. That's now £10 that could have went to the food banks. Just saying, that's now £10 that could have went to the food banks. But hey ho, FSG saved us, and you're I'm destroying the heritage of the club by being FSG out. Were we destroying the heritage of the football club by being Hicks and Gillette out? Why are we? The heritage of this football club isn't built. If anything, the heritage of this football club does not agree with FSG because this football club is built on socialists. They're not socialists. So we should be. FSG have nothing to do with the heritage of this football club. So why is it? It's such an outlandish statement to suggest that.
And from an unbiased perspective, by the way, all FSG did was make it who are not.
All I'll say for Toby, right? Toby, if Toby wants to actually talk,
the heritage of the football club is winning. The heritage of the football club is winning and socialism. FSG land in neither of those. It's sustained winning and socialism. FSG land in neither of those. They're not none of the heritage has anything to do with FSG. So what part of heritage am I destroying by being FSG out? They've went at the locals. They've went at the fans. They've went at everyone with mistakes in the past. That's not heritage. They've tried to get locals to stop. They've tried to cut off funding for the locals by saying you can't sell merchandise. They've tried to up ticket prices. They've tried to join Super Leagues, which would not only fuck up the city, but all the other clubs in the country. They've done all this. They've tried to furlough staff. Goes completely against what this fucking city's about. The city bands together. It doesn't fucking cut people off. But no, I'm the one destroying the heritage. Fuck off. You need a shit chocolate bar now. I don't even like it anymore. Fucking,
you know, let me just say one quick thing. If me, Rax, Kurdish, or Tom Little had 300 million in 2010, we would also buy Liverpool. That's genuinely the easiest business decision anyone would have made. Any human on earth. Seeing the TV money uprise in an unbelievable way for the Premier League and seeing all the marketing work being done in East Asia and Africa and all over the world for the Premier League, you know for a fact, and this goes to the point that Rax said earlier on, the money that you make from football is based on that asset becoming a lot more costly. That is how you make money in football. That 300 million turned into 4 billion. They did not save us. They made a business decision. They did not come in here and go like, oh, I'm a Liverpool fan. Let me save Liverpool. They didn't do that. They came up here and they made a business decision. They bought a historic giant football club. And by the way, you can call us spoiled in that. Yes, I am spoiled. You know why I'm spoiled? I'm a Liverpool fan. That's why I'm spoiled. Because exactly what Tom Little said, this club is built on winning. And you can ask Rax this right now. When we were winning stuff in the 70s and 80s, we were also the biggest spenders. We also spent a whole lot of money. Kenny Dalglish was a record transfer signing, and he's our greatest ever player. Or maybe you have him one or two. So this tells you all you need to know. Bro, when it comes to all this shit about saved us, they didn't save nothing. They made a business decision. That is all they did.
Saying FSG saved us is like saying Kanye West saved Kim Kardashian. She was famous anyway.
Oh my god, this has got worse. This is too much.
Like it's such a boring analogy. Like she was going to marry another rapper if she didn't marry Kanye West. You know, that was her thing. You know, we know what her game was. She was always going to get picked up by a rapper. Like we were always going to get picked up by an owner. It's a boring narrative.
Toby, it's fans like you that are destroying the club. Go on, Rax.
So okay, so in terms of when Liverpool's last up for sale and FSG bought us, there was only one other person who had his hat in the ring at the time, who's Vincent Lim, who ended up buying Valencia. Valencia.
No, Valencia. Correct.
Yeah,
Valencia.
But so I don't know. Obviously, I think that would have probably been a worse situation because he's totally fucked up Valencia. But that's not the point. The point is the idea behind FSG saving Liverpool it doesn't make any sense whatsoever. They bought us as a business decision. Look at what American teams were selling for back then, relatively speaking, and arguably even now, relatively speaking, football clubs are an undervalued asset. So they were
FSG didn't buy us out the goodness of their heart.
Yeah, they are capitalists. I'm under no impressions when they eventually go to sell Liverpool, the only thing they will want to do is maximise their return. All I can hope for as a fan is that they make the right decisions during that period to make us as successful as we can possibly be. And hopefully those two things can coincide.
There was another option, by the way, that they're mentioning it in the comment section. True, by the way, the Dubai group, the Dubai investment group as well, were interested. Remember when they had the banner in Anfield, Dubai SOS Yanks out? I still remember that.
They were interested the time before. So that when the Moores family sold Liverpool, DIC
that was like
2009-ish. No, it was
2007. 2007-ish.
No, but they were interested again, by the way. When Hicks and Gillett, when the whole court thing was happening and, they took them to court, I think they wanted Liverpool at the time as well, by the way.
I think the only two
the interest was further along the first time. They actually made it further along the first
then
time.
Then consortiums wanted us. 8 of them were richer than FSG. I by the way, I remember that used to be, there were many of Dubai group, the Victor guy that bought Valencia. I remember him as well. There's so many. By the way, it wasn't just one guy.
I mean, if you can still go and find the articles and stuff are online. You can see Vincent Lim was the only other person who made a concrete offer, and then he withdrew his offer when he basically became thingy that it wasn't going to work out. They were going to go with FSG or Nestle as they were called back then.
Okay, fair
but
enough.
Anyway, but the whole point. That's not the point. The point is the premise behind them saving us. Like that's totally misguided. That shouldn't even really be a discussion. Like the saving thing.
Oh, I think I remember DIC because I was to put it in the chat. DIC wanted to. Well, the main ones that were going to build the stadium in Stanley Park, which is what forced Hicks and Gillett to then say to try and boost their bid, which is then where the infamous "we'll have a spade in the ground in 100 days." That never fucking
90
happened.
days, yeah.
And I think Hicks and Gillett. I don't think it was DIC, but I think Hicks and Gillett, when they were first messing about with it, suggested the idea that Liverpool and Everton share the stadium. Could you imagine the shambles of that?
San Siro.
Can I just say?
But you go from into an AC to the most historic clubs in the world to fucking Everton.
Can I just say something? Pete's put a comment in, and I also don't think it's fair, like about Martin Braun, about him wanting to sell us to average owners. Like I said, Vincent Lim was the only other person who had an offer in. Martin Broughton was appointed by Royal Bank of Scotland. He was their appointee as the main person on the board, and it was Ian Eyre, Martin Broughton, and the guy who
sold to FSG. Was this when we sold to FSG?
Yeah, exactly. And so there were 5 people on board. Hicks, Gillett, and then
to average. You had to sell.
Exactly. He was representing Royal Bank of Scotland. He was representing Royal Bank of Scotland.
We were in administration. Administration makes you have to sell.
We weren't. No, we weren't in. We were on the verge of administration.
We were on the
cusp.
Actually in administration.
We
were on the cusp. So
yeah.
it was.
What Sarim's saying is exactly RBS forced a sale because they basically Hicks and Gillett borrowed a load of money from thingy. FSG are not our heroes. Yeah, stop.
Yeah, 100%.
Sarim's absolutely correct.
100%. What Sarim just said there is 100% accurate. And look, bro, just even if we want to simplify. By the way, all the last 5-minute conversation, no other fan base knows about their club. But when you become a Liverpool fan, you have to sign up to be an accountant, a business manager, a doctor. You cannot just be a football fan. But this thing that Sarim just said, even if we just simplify it, just straight up, it was just a business decision. 300 million at the time, And by the way, what Rax said, bro, these NFL, NBA clubs cost a whole lot more. They cost a whole lot more than these football clubs. So, FSG, obviously, it was his long-term intention been to own an NFL club, an NBA club, which is why I think we will eventually get sold somewhere. I do know that to someone, but, it unfortunately won't be this season. Anyway.
And when John Henry said, we're not going to be in Liverpool forever. That is one
He
thing
said
I
that,
believe.
basically.
That every hedge fund or private equity guy, there was going to be some kind of exit strategy, whatever that may be. We just got to hope, obviously, that when that happens, it's for the better of Liverpool Football Club.
100%.
What do we reckon the Mason Mount chant's going to be? What tune is it going to be with?
Let me just tell the people something, by the way. Manchester City are pushing hard for Jude Bellingham. They're pushing. Jude wants Liverpool. There's a possibility that I'll tell everyone about now. Jude Bellingham could extend, stay at Dortmund for another year, but with a release clause. That is a genuine possibility, and watch out for that. So it just depends on the whole Man City shit and how badly he wants Liverpool, basically. So yeah, that's put an end to it.
What are we going with for the Mason Mount chance? I reckon they're going to go for something like Gerrard. I reckon they'll buy into the narrative of the English midfielder coming in, big fucking. He's not got a persona like Ox, so we can't include like I don't know fucking Mount's misses.
Can you stop?
we got to look at the chance that they're going to go with for
Tom, if you have any love for me, it is 3:38 a.m. Please.
You called me a fucking donkey when I walked into the stream. You're going to have to deal with this.
That's out of love. And now you got it back in blood. Khalas. This is the worst thing you could have said to me. But anyway, listen, let's just wrap it up here. 300.
One last thing.
Yes.
What Fraser has said. Dortmund won 130 million, and we refused to bid. Okay. The thing is, if Liverpool haven't spent that kind of money recently on a midfielder, if you're going to, and you know that Bellingham is probably going to be available this summer. You knew that last summer. It really doesn't make sense. At that point there is going to be a bidding war. So if you're interested in Jude Bellingham, the implication is that you're going to be part of this bidding war because the bidding.
Yeah. So why more than the season? It takes back to the
you know that's going to happen. So it makes no sense for them to not bid for Jude Bellingham this summer if they thought, because it was obvious what was going to happen. Anyway, sorry.
Pete, if I don't slap the shit out of you, honestly. My guy called Curtis Jones Socrates. You deserve pain.
Oh, no. They're going to repurpose the best midfielder. They're going to repurpose the best midfield in the world, champ, just for the English midfielders. It's going to be like, we've got the best midfield in the world. We've got James Milner. We've got Hendo, Mount, and Curtis Jones. Well, like, could you imagine if we started fucking singing that around fucking Anfield?
Andrew, just leave me alone. What have I done to you? You know who you need to worry about? Khalidou Koulibaly. Because Sims bodied his ass this week. This is who you need to be worried about. Less worrying about me, brother. I'm already going through hell. You know what I hate about Chelsea fans, bro? Us both going through hell. Just show compassion towards each other and move on. Instead, they want to bring us down. Brother, hold that. Big up to you, though. Anyway, look. I'm going to wrap it up here. An hour and 30 minutes. Make sure you guys slap the like button. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel if you're ready to do so. Emre, right now, please like the video. Subscribe to This Is Football. Big up to Amin, Mo. Big up to you, Habibi. Thanks so much. Big up to Selection. Big up to Qusay, Will, Felipe, Winter Surfer. Big up to you, Ice, Pond Elf, Buck. Big up to Messi FC, Chris, Momo. Big up to Sarim. And of course, big up to the shit chocolate bar who sent in 2 super chats to just get annihilated. But big up to you and everyone else. Slap off the like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell because the algorithms are doing to us, what Kim Kardashian did to Kanye West since Kurdish mentioned it. So, life been doing. So make sure you hit that notification bell, or else YouTube won't give you.
Also, put in your favorite analogy of the stream in the comment section.
Yes.
There were a few good analogies. I think my Will Smith one should be up there. I can't lie to you. So when this stream goes on YouTube, so as soon as we end this live, put in the actual comments which analogy was your favorite. So don't forget, put it. I want to see which one you liked more. So speaking of analogies,
my vote goes to the donkey one and ISIS in the mountains because I joined in with zero context for that one. So that was just hilarious to listen to. I join in and I hear about a man he's spending 48 hours trekking through the mountains with a donkey while he's got ISIS in the mountains just so we can watch a Champions League final, and that means Tottenham is a small club apparently.
And Arsenal.
True. I am not an Arsenal. Curtis quote. So Curtis, where can the people find you, Habibi?
Big up, man. Look, as always, subscribe to this channel, like all the videos that Don's doing a lot for you guys. You can find me on here, you can find me on the terrace, you can find me on Never Foul. There's a few. I'm making my face in a few places. I'm doing the racks. But more than anything, you'll find me on Spaces. The last couple of days, I'm like a broken radio. I'm either shouting about FSGOUT, but recently it's been Mason Mount out. And I'd just like to remind...
It's been Erling Haaland as the most underrated striker.
That's a different conversation. But anyway, I would just like to confirm the reason that you will always hear me talk about Mason Mount is because Mason Mount is about as useless as a ham sandwich in a bar mitzvah. So let that sink in.
We've got a late one.
We've got
a 90 plus 3. We've got a 90 plus 3 analogy going.
A ham sandwich in a bar mitzvah gets thrown in the bin. That's how useful Mason Mount is. Let that sink in.
100%, just as useless as bacon in an Arab breakfast. Big up to Arfield Rodad. He says, I want to hear more donkey stories, Kurdish. Hey, Rax, you got a crush on you, brother. You got a crush on. Just flex a little bit, so that you know. Let me actually. Why should I put up this comment? Rax, tell the people where they can find you, Rax.
You can. My at is not visible at the moment, but yeah, you can at Raxing1 on Twitter. On this channel, which is always good to do, and yeah, out and about. So yeah, hit me up, man.
We're starting to do less and less football talk on these shows.
It's become like a
Maybe
Joe Rogan
better.
podcast. Yeah, it's become like a Joe Rogan podcast type shit. You know, I kind of like it, to be honest. I kind of like it. It's entertaining, especially with Tom Little. You know, Tom Little is who? This is who Tom Little is. Tom Little is Divock Origi. The last 15 minutes, he's the best player in the world. The last 15 minutes of a stream, he gives you some crazy ass shit. Whilst for the first 75 minutes, he was just giving you, you know, a pass here, a moment there. And then the last 15 minutes, he just turns it up. 90 plus 4 right here. Tom, where can people find you?
You can find me, Tom Little, on YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, Twitch, the works. Finished my uni dissertation the other day, so until August-ish, we're going full time. So pretty much daily content. And yes, I did see the comment earlier from someone. Yes, I know I was 9th by the time that, you know, the 3rd episode of the Liverpool career mode finished. But I have had to deal with, if you think this is an injury crisis, I've had 3 dislocated shoulders in my attackers. Darwin Nunez has dislocated the shoulder. Salah dislocated the shoulder. I'm pretty sure it was to James Milner at false 9. So if you want to go enjoy me playing James Milner up front in the career mode, get involved in that at some point this week.
Big up, Tom. This is his channel. Make sure you go subscribe to this bastard's channel. Absolutely elite. And I will slap him every day if I don't see a live. You know, so I will make sure I'm his coach, guys. So I will make sure he goes live every day. I'm going to bring the best out of Tom Little. So make sure to go subscribe to his channel. Make sure to go follow.
I did beat City, though. Let me just put this out. I did beat City with a 90th minute Thiago free kick.
So
I did hold 3 to Chelsea. I held 3 to Chelsea.
Oh, that's bad.
But I beat Man City, so.
Thiago was available for a big game.
He was, yeah. He had to come off the bench. He was about half fit. He had to come off the bench with 5 minutes to go.
This shows you how unrealistic games are.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Alfredo says, "Happy birthday, Tom."
Happy birthday, Tom.
Happy birthday, Tom.
Happy birthday, Tom, mate. Happy birthday.
Big up. I didn't start this stuff. It was the comment section.
The worst. I might have to restart the Cremo because I signed Jude Bellingham, but he's not going to fucking come now, is he? So what do I do?
Mason Mount? Who the fuck else, brother?
Chelsea wouldn't sell him, thankfully, but they wouldn't sell him. He was too important.
Oh, wow. Too important to plans. That's insane. That sounds like a Klopp thing. Anyway, everyone watching us right now, as I said, like the video, subscribe. Go subscribe to Tom's channel. Go follow Rax, especially you, Liverpool. Go follow Kurdish. Go follow Tom Little on all social media platforms. Rax's face is red. How cute, honestly. Big up to you guys. And we will...
I'm brown, man. I don't get red.
For fuck's sake. It's not my birthday.
I can't even come back now. Yalla, see you guys later, man. Peace.